The Nintendo character Kirby was named after John Kirby, the legal counsel for Nintendo, who helped them win their lawsuit with Universal Studios back in 1982. John Kirby was gifted a sailboat named the Donkey Kong. Welcome to Professionally Casual Gamers, the podcast where two friends kick back after a long work week and casually talk about everything gaming. I'm your host, Alex, joined by my co-host and Pokemon Pro, Ralph.
What's up, Alex?
Not too much, man. Happy to be here for big ol' episode 5.
Woo! Can't believe we're here.
Yeah. By the way, if I had a sailboat, I would probably name it the Captain Toad.
The Captain Toad.
The Captain Toad. How about you?
Did you even play Captain Toad?
No, but I just beat through Paper Mario, and there's a lot of Toads, so...
Oh my god, I don't know what I would name mine.
You can give us an episode.
Dude, actually, no. I would call it the SS Ann.
The SS Ann.
Yeah,
oh, Pokemon, right?
dude.
Yeah,
that's so good.
To Lieutenant Surge. Nice.
Yeah.
Good times. Anyways... Let us know in the comments what you would name your ship video game character.
Why did you just turn into a video game disc jockey?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, as we said, we're super happy to be here for episode 5. We're a month into the podcast. We did it. We finally freaking did it. And there's going to be way more where that came from. Super happy to everyone who's been tuning in this past month. We love the support we've been getting on social media and off just through texts and phone calls, whatever, from our friends and family. It's been huge for us. We love it, and we love you guys.
To our one listener in the United Kingdom, thank you. That's so exciting.
Yeah, and in Virginia, we have a pretty nice fan base. We're not really sure who you are, but if you follow us on Instagram, please let us know who you are so we can talk, make collab about something. We just love to know who you are. But yeah, if you have any sort of feedback that might be helpful for us to hear, please let us know via Twitter, DM us on Instagram, or email us at professionallycasualgamers@gmail.com. We always love hearing from you guys, and honestly, we're just happy to be here and to provide some awesome content. But yeah, let's get into it, shall we, Ralph? Video games. Ralph, what have you been playing? I know you got this smirk on your face, like, oh, what have you been playing, Alex? Thank you for asking.
Well, I've been playing Persona 5 Royal, obviously, and I finally beat it. I finished at 145 hours.
Oh, mama!
I thought it was gonna be much longer, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say
one thing that's about the end part, I think it's because I was so overpowered and I was so strong.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that in the last episode.
Literally, I just ran through the ending. I think the boss was probably supposed to be much harder.
Did you end up moving up the difficulty to Merciless?
No, I didn't have a chance to do that. Don't tell Sam. Maybe she won't listen to this. I'm probably gonna New Game Plus it.
Oh no!
New Game Plus
you monster!
And so
how? Why?
Because
that's like 300 hours.
So yeah, so I missed 3 secret bosses, and I'm kind of bummed about it. Okay. I guess they changed how the secret bosses happens, but you can fight the twins, right? So there's these people in the game that help you out. They're the twins. That was initially the secret boss in Persona 5 vanilla, but now you can fight Lavenza. Which is, I don't want to spoilers, but we can fight Lavenza, which is another person you can do. And then you can also fight, Jose, which is
Who's Jose?
Jose is this new NPC that you meet in Mementos.
Oh, the white-haired kid?
Yeah,
okay.
You can fight them. But I beat the Reaper in one turn, and that's how I knew that I was really overpowered.
In normal season? Because if you fight him during normal flu season.
No, they patched that out. So I beat Reaper in normal season in one turn, and I was like, this doesn't feel good. I want something harder. So hopefully when I New Game Plus it, we'll be able to, get that feeling back of really struggling to fight things. But I don't want to talk too much about Persona 5 Royal because I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about it during Game of the Year watch. But I did want to touch base on some of the few things at the end part of that game.
Cool. So there's probably like a secret or like a perfect ending, right?
Right. So I got the perfect ending. Okay. I don't know how people are going to feel about it when they play Persona 5 Royal. If you played Persona 5 before. Okay. They changed the true ending significantly. So that's one. And then two, I guess like spoiler alert. Do you care like a little bit?
I personally, I feel like I might play it.
Okay, all right,
yeah,
never mind.
But like for Game of the Year cast, we'll
So what do you call it? The true ending has a very much a Marvel Avengers ending, like an after credit scene.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I would just think that there might be a Persona 5 Royal, like a Persona 5 Part 2.
Oh.
Like I could definitely see a Persona 5 Part 2 because I don't know why they would add that end credit scene to the game.
Well, I know 3, 4, and 5 take place in the same universe, which sounds kind of obvious because like they all take place in like contemporary Japan. But there are like calls to, I mean, at least 3 and 4. They're like those characters have interacted.
Yeah,
like Persona 4 Arena, which is canon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. But I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with that. Just quick tidbits on that. I did not like romancing the new character Kasumi. Yeah, she has a really interesting story, but I personally still think that Makoto is the best person to romance.
Stole your heart.
Right, yeah. But it was like a weird thing because at the end part, so you technically romance Kasumi, right? So at the ending of Persona 5 Royal, the true ending, you like walk past her in like the train station. She just says hi. And then it was like a weird thing in my head. I'm like, I technically romanced you and you're just saying hi and bye and I'm
That's
leaving.
it? No, we're on a one-word basis.
No, seriously. So it was like a weird thing. And I'm so excited to talk about Persona 5 Royal during Game of the Year because there is something, the antagonist for the new semester is so fascinating and it's so interesting. And I really want you to play it just so that we can talk about it in depth as Persona fans, because it is so vastly different from any of the other palaces that I'm so interested to see what your thoughts are. And it's kind of philosophical. So I'm curious to see what your philosophical take is on the new antagonist for the new semester. Okay,
so, and I think I can ask you this pretty clearly. So in Persona 5, the base game, the main last boss, Yell
is a god. Yeah,
it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I would say so.
I don't think so.
I mean, I know he came from Igor,
right? So,
but like that, like him being Yell Dabauth was like kind of from left field to me. So, I mean, whether you agree with that or not, I don't know. But so the new antagonist for Persona 5 Royal and the
new semester,
is it out of nowhere?
No,
or is it?
It's not out of nowhere at all. I think they build up to it really well.
Okay, that's good.
With the Igor thing, I disagree on that part because I thought it was clever because when you first start Persona 5 as an older player, you notice immediately that Igor has a different voice actor.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's weird. I guess they didn't like the voice actor before.
That's what I thought.
But when the switch happened, I'm like, oh, that makes total sense. It's because this person is evil, right? But no, the new antagonist for the new semester for Persona 5 Royal is so good. And I just didn't want to like look up. I didn't want to play. I guess I was planning on doing New Game Plus, but I'm not a bad ending kind of guy. But I did, right. But I looked up the bad ending.
Okay.
And honestly, not a bad ending. And that will make more sense once you play the new semester. Maybe like instead of you playing it, maybe I have the save still up. Maybe like when we do these recordings, maybe we'll play like an hour or two every time we record so that you can just see the new semester.
It would take still like months.
I don't think so.
Like 1 or 2 hours at a time?
Right, yeah. Okay. I don't think so. Because like my characters are overpowered.
Yeah.
And I do have to say I have the biggest badge of honor. I max confidant every single person in one run through and maxed my skills in one run through. So I'm pretty proud of that.
That's super impressive.
Still didn't platinum it on accident because I wasn't paying attention. So
okay. How many more trophies do you have?
I'm missing like a bunch of bronze ones, like lottery, like get a thing is one of those things because I was so focused on maxing my confidence that I didn't do the random stuff like play baseball or.
So now you can just do that.
Yeah, like go fishing and stuff like that. But I highly recommend Persona 5 Royal more so now than I did before because it is so good. The last semester, it is it's interesting, and I'm curious to see what people may think about the ending and where you would stand as a person. Because philosophically, it's interesting. So please check it out. It's so good. I can't wait to talk more about it during our Game of the Year watch.
Is the antagonist one of those characters where like you can kind of see where they're coming from, their motivation?
100%.
Yeah. Those are the best villains, hands down.
Probably one of my favorite villains in all of video games. Probably like one of my top 10. Yeah,
Arden from Final Fantasy 15.
No, this one's way better. I honestly think this one's way better. It makes complete sense. I'm curious to see. We might do a mini-sode on this one. That's how good it is. Just of this antagonist. That's
Listeners, you can't see right now, but Ralph has this dumb smile on his face. Like, oh, we're doing a mini-sode.
But yeah, I don't want to talk about more because one, I don't want to spoil it, but it's definitely like higher up on my list now that I've beaten all of Persona 5.
Okay. Is it like a 10 for you then? It was, I know like you try not to give 10s, but
it was always a 10 for me.
Okay.
But right. But I think it's something that I will definitely remember. I cried. Oh, I forgot. I didn't want to bring it up, but
you cried?
Yeah, it's part of the cry club for me. And there's only like 3 or 4 video games.
There's a club for you?
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 games that have made me cry.
I want to know what these other games are.
One was The Walking Dead. The Telltale one.
Oh, okay.
That was one of my cry clubs. The first one was Last of Us. Like
Part
that
1?
First scene, like the first couple of scenes that made me cry. Persona 5 Royal. There's like a section at the end where I cried as well, and it was amazing. I'm about to tear up thinking about it again.
Dude, that's wild.
It's so good, dude.
I've definitely never cried from a video game.
Right, and then I don't know what else. Oh, and Mass Effect.
Mass Effect?
Yeah, dude, Mass Effect 2. Okay. Mass Effect 2.
I haven't played them, so I don't know.
Yeah, so
I know you love them though. I think they're on your favorite game.
Right, yeah.
On that Instagram post.
But no, dude, like I was like a blubbering idiot when this section in the game happened, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. I can't believe I'm like bawling my eyes out.
Did Sam walk in on you crying?
No. She was she was doing something else, but I was literally crying. It's so weird, but it was good. Please check it out. If you have the time, or just chip away at it. It's very much worth your time. So,
wow.
Yeah. Glowing review.
Persona 5 Royal.
I'll tell you about it like off screen. So.
Yeah. That's chill. Nice. I'm super glad you enjoyed it and are very passionate about it. That's cool.
Yeah. And then the other thing I did want to bring up about the games we're playing is Sam checked out Mario 35. So there's this new Mario game that is essentially a battle royale. You're playing Mario with 35 other players.
It's like the old school 2D side scroller.
The old school 2D side scroller Mario. And whenever you kill an enemy, you send the enemies to their screen. It's like very Tetris 99. She hated it.
Oh, really? I know she was super excited about it.
Yeah, she was super excited about the game, but she just doesn't think it's a good game. And like verbatim, I believe her words were, "This is a disgrace to Mario players everywhere." Like she literally said that it was a disgrace to Mario players everywhere.
Quite a statement.
Yeah, okay. She said that. I guess I wouldn't notice this, but she would. She said Mario doesn't feel right. He's too fast, apparently, and he doesn't jump correctly. Is at the right jump. I guess she knows.
And when it comes to that, like those games, that's literally everything.
So she really did not like it. She played it for a couple of rounds, and she said, "This is not a good game. This is a bad Mario game." And she just stopped. And it was surprising to me because I thought she was gonna love it and she was gonna be super excited about it. She dropped it so fast.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we had dinner with our friends Brendan and Arlette.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to them yesterday. And when I spoke to Brendan about it, because he's also a very big Mario fan.
True.
He also did not like it. He said I could care less for it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, couldn't care less. Sorry. Grammar over here. English major. But
so he's not a fan. Okay.
He also did not like it.
He's been playing, because I've seen him some of his Facebook posts. He's been playing the triple pack. The Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy.
He loves his Nintendo,
he loves that, though.
And he did not like Mario 35.
Okay, has he been liking the triple pack re-release though?
I would say so. You can't really hate those games. Those are very good games in general. I'm sure like Sunshine and 64 didn't age as well, but I'm sure once he gets to Galaxy, I played that game and I don't like platformers, and I thought Galaxy was a good game.
Yeah. You'll at least like the soundtrack for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, those are pretty much all I've been playing, other than one of the other games that we're going to talk about later. But yes, that's pretty much it. How about you, Alex? What have you been playing?
I finally did it. I'm free from these shackles. I have beaten Paper Mario, the Origami King. I want to say I clocked in around 30 to 35 hours. And to be real, I thought it was going to be a way shorter game. Like, when my sister loaned me, I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be like a 10 to 15 hour endeavor. So it was long. Yeah, it was
for something that you don't progress in at all. Like, it's just puzzles, right?
Yeah, so puzzles, they're like dungeons. There's like a main storyline. So kind of the cadence of the game is Peach's castle is tied up in these like colored streamers. Because again, paper, that aesthetic, right. Whatever. And so you go to each colored streamer to like destroy it. So you're freeing Peach's castle, then you go into Peach's castle at the very end. And before you clear the streamer, you need to unlock like an element. They're called Velementals. Elemental, yeah.
Ooh,
I don't know why they would do that, but
because Nintendo.
Exactly. So you fight the Velemental boss, and then you fight the streamer boss. And the streamer bosses are actually great because
really?
They're all like stationary art supplies.
Oh,
so there's like
paper, pens,
so the colored scissors. Pencils.
Oh my god,
scissors. One of them, hole punch. There were rubber bands. Yeah. So
okay,
and
I don't know when you would use rubber bands to make origami, but sure.
It was funny because I think in the last episode I talked about this, where the toads are like Mario's like on stage for the boss battle, so the toads are tied up to the chairs with rubber bands.
Okay,
so it's just funny because for all these like the stationary boss battles, the toads are impacted by it. Okay, so for the hole punch, you're like in this underground, you're like in the desert, so it's like an underground like shrine temple sort of thing. And the toads are missing their faces. So it's super creepy. It's like...
It's just as a like as a visual for everyone, Alex says that and my face just went sour.
He's giving me like this weird look like, what game is this? Yeah.
Oh man.
It's funny. It's such like tongue-in-cheek dark humor sometimes. Like when you... Mario has a signature move in the game. It's called the 1,000-fold arm. Where his arm like...
extends.
Yeah, right. And if you kill a boss with that move, you do like it's literally like a God of War execute.
Oh, really?
Like for the staple, you break it. Like, you know how staples normally bend one way, like he fully bends it the other way. I'm like, oh, really? That's what we're doing to the stapler now?
Someone mods like blood.
Yeah, right. So it's a funny game. It takes itself
as seriously as it should.
Yeah.
Not serious enough. That's what it is.
It hits with like funny lines and stuff. I'll say there's some feels in that game.
You
like,
cry?
No.
Part of the cry club?
Heck no, did I cry
I'm so surprised that you don't have a cry club.
I'm surprised you do have a cry club.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, like there's some feels parts and I was like totally sideswiped by that. I was like, wow, Paper Mario is hitting me with this. Because then they also hit you with lines like Bowser Jr. comes in later in the game. And one of Mario's companions from the beginning, this like origami girl, Bowser Jr. is in the clown car, and then she's talking like, oh, like, look at this clown car, it's so cute, like, the eyes, whatever, yada, yada. And then Bowser Jr.'s like, hey, my face is up here, eyes up. And I'm like, wow, that is a hilarious line. Kids would probably have, like, no idea, obviously. I hope they don't know what that's supposed to be implying. But then the adults are like, wow, okay. Well played, Mario. Well played. So it's, again, like, the humor is just awesome. I really wish there was some sort of character progression, like you were saying when I started talking about this. So, because there's no levels, all you do is you can buy accessories. That's kind of the most...
Well, did the final boss even get harder? Like, did you think it was harder than any of the other bosses?
So I died twice in the game.
In the final boss?
No. Oh, once in the final boss. Okay. So in my first death was against the scissors, those pesky scissors, because if you basically have two modes of attack, jumping and swinging your hammer. For some enemies, they have like spikes on them. Mm-hmm. So you have to wear iron boots, because if you use normal boots, it damages you. So I jumped on the scissors with iron boots, because I'd be like, okay, that's fine. And then it just one-shot me. I had full health.
Weird.
Yeah.
Why?
The scissors does have a one-shot move, though.
It's a wipe mechanic?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, where you just have to time it. You have to push A and you jump over it. So really cool.
Yeah.
And then for the final boss, there's like this puzzle part. You have like 40 seconds to like basically just do this puzzle. And if you don't, it's a game over.
See, I would never play this because I hate puzzles. So
I mean, it wasn't that hard once you figure out what you have to do. Like the first time I saw it, I'm like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with this. But I'm like, oh, I was just kind of being an idiot. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I didn't like, it was kind of unfair in those deaths, but it doesn't like take you that far back. So it was fine.
It's weird that people would call it an RPG. I guess it's not an RPG anymore. Would you say it's more like an action game? It doesn't sound like an RPG to me.
Like puzzle, adventure.
Yeah.
I would say it's a light RPG. It has light RPG mechanics.
I don't know, because in my head, RPG mechanics is like leveling up, getting stronger.
Stats,
yeah.
Like you do get new weapons.
Yeah.
They break, so you have to keep buying them. You have like accessories.
Your favorite mechanic, durability.
Yeah, durability. Said no one ever. It's fine in Fire Emblem, I guess, but yeah, that's about it. But yeah, I was kind of like, not gonna lie, I was zooming through the end just to finish it.
You're like, I need to talk about this in the podcast, so we're
right. I'm like, I don't want to spend like another week just talking about it.
Yeah. So on that note, what is your score for Paper Mario? Feeling score and your objective score?
Yeah, I mean, feeling score and objective score are probably like super similar to me. I'd give like a 6.5.
Oof. Is that low or high? I don't know what our rating system is.
I mean, so for me, like a 5 is just average.
Okay.
I didn't really like it. Didn't necessarily hate it. Whatever.
What's a 5 to you? Just so people know.
What game is like a 5? Freaking Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah.
Sharp FE.
I can see that. Did you beat that?
I did.
Oh, so
that game is long too.
It is. It's like 60 hours.
It was 60 hours.
Yeah. I played that and I was like, this is not a Persona game.
I can't believe I beat that.
In my head, I was like, this is not a Persona game. I also don't like the vibe of these like idols.
Yeah, it's just like a very mediocre Persona game.
That makes sense. Because it's not a bad game. I get that. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit better than
so Tokyo Mirage is like a 5. Mario, so like if Paper Mario Origami King had RPG mechanics, I would have liked it a lot more. Probably like a whole point. Like a 7.5. But like the characters and the whole like paper aesthetic, like I really love, and the dialogue, like I don't remember the last time I played a game like that. Pretty unique in that regard.
In your head, like you're only getting a 6 because the Toads are funny.
No, dude, the Toads are hilarious. They carried that game, bro. Carried that game 100%.
That's awesome.
It was good, and the dungeons I didn't feel like were too like laborious.
Yeah.
They were fine.
Yeah, they didn't overstay their welcome.
They did not overstay their welcome. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. So yeah, I wouldn't pay $60 for it.
Well, it was borrowed it from your sister.
It was free, so I'm like, okay, sure. So whatever. Like and I'll probably have like a brief conversation with her about it. So like it's fun in that regard too. Also, this past weekend, yesterday actually, I was over at my buddy's place. We were watching some World's League of Legends games. It's currently going on. It's going on in China, which is like 3 a.m. here for Central Time. So we just watched the VODs, the pre-recorded videos, just like the afternoon after. So we're doing that. NA is getting crushed. America never wins at Worlds. Yeah, Europe is doing pretty well. Like China and Korea, obviously, are
like even when I was still playing League of Legends back in college, I don't think I've ever seen America win at all ever. Yeah,
Cloud9 got really close one year. I want to say like a few years back. They're not even in Worlds this time. TSM beat them out, and yeah, TSM is 0-2.
Is Taipei still good?
No, they're not. I don't think they're in Worlds
ever. Oh, that's so weird.
I know. I remember they won season 3. I remember we watched that. At
our
place this week.
Yeah, that's weird because I'm sure they're like immortalized in League of Legends with their own skins.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, so
they have those skins. So it's cool, and I didn't follow League throughout the normal season too much, but Worlds is just so much fun. Yeah. It's such a nice spectacle.
I wish I still did League because I think watching the pro circuit for League of Legends is so fascinating. It's so fun.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they released their stuff for preseason.
Yeah.
And one thing, like, I gotta hand it to Riot. They changed that game so much, but they're always good changes. They keep the game fresh. Oh, well, okay, they're mostly always good changes. I know you're giving me a look like, why was Zed buffed? He's one-shotting me.
I don't even know what that is, but the only thing I can remember is when everyone was AP Master Yi.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, why is this a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Everyone's one-shot was unblockable move, and then he can literally just heal himself for 30 seconds straight.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not a thing anymore. So they make good changes. They keep the game fresh. Got a hand to them. Worlds is fun. I mean, Worlds like the Olympics, right? Like I obviously don't follow like swimming or like gymnastics, but like when it comes to like nations competing against each other, it's a good time.
Alex is like, put League of Legends in the Olympics.
Do it,
cowards.
Esports, baby. So after we watched the League games, we played some Mario Kart 64, had some beers with that. The usual rules where you have to finish your beer before you finish the race.
Oh, man, I don't even remember Mario Kart 64 that much.
It's so hard to play
because it's just like boxy, right? You can't really turn.
Pixely, and like you can't like the draw distance.
Oh, that
is so bad. Like you can't
because it's loading in.
Yeah, and you have like 4 people on the screen too, so it's even more demanding on the N64.
Yeah. So
like you can't see like 50 feet in front of you, and you're like, is that a left turn? Is it a right turn? Oh, I guessed wrong. Cool.
Yeah, it's interesting because I played Mario Kart, I want to say 3 days ago. And
the
new one on the Switch, yeah. And I always thought that Rainbow Road was the hardest thing in the world. Like, it was so hard, I can't play this. But maybe it's the reason it was hard was because of the limitations of the system
on the N64,
right? Because when I play it now, I think because they added Rainbow Road on some of the Rainbow Roads,
you're
onto the new game, and they have 64 on there, and I don't think it's hard at all. I think it's the easiest Rainbow Road.
Yeah, because there's rails,
right? Well,
for the whole thing.
No, I don't think it has rails. It's just easier. I think it's just easier
on
because
N64.
You can see
it does at least.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah. But there's another map on N64 which is so supremely difficult. It's like one of the Boo levels, which does not have ledges. I'm like, okay, I died just so many times. Yeah. It was fun though. I hadn't seen one of those buddies in a while, so it was good just kicking back and catching up and playing some games. But yeah, that was all that I had, but we did play a couple games that were in common. You want to start with Among Us?
Sure, yeah. Among Us was really good. I'm glad to start talking about that. You want to kick us off?
Sure. So Among Us, for those who are living under rocks, it's a game that's been out for a few years.
Yeah, it's the new Fall Guys. It's the taste of the week.
Right. The character designs are similar too. It's on Steam. It's also on mobile. It's free on mobile, which is how I played it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, Mafia, Ultimate Werewolf.
Yeah.
And then you have a group of, I think I played with like 8 people.
Yeah.
And we said 2 of those 8 are the imposter. Yeah. And so the goal for, if 6 of the 8 are normal people, there's different objectives you have to complete in this. It's like a ship or like a laboratory.
So what makes it different from like Ultimate Werewolf or Mafia, right, is those are children games and you're imagining things and
I still play Ultimate Werewolf sometimes.
But you imagine it in your head. It's like make believe, right?
Yeah,
but the difference is, since this is a game, as Alex was saying, you have little tasks. So everyone has a task that's not an imposter, right? The person that's gonna plan on killing people. So you're trying to fix wires, or you're trying to input codes, or do
slide
things.
The credit card.
Right, slide the credit
card. But not too fast.
Yeah, not too fast or not too slow. While the imposters, one, are trying to fake task. So that they don't get caught, but also at the same time trying to murder you.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. And then once someone gets killed, it doesn't get reported until someone finds it.
Yeah, and then someone else needs to find the body.
And once the body is reported, then people can start discussing, who's the murderer? So
and
what else
you can queue up with random people, and the way you communicate then is through text. And obviously, if you get killed, you become a ghost. You cannot communicate, because then obviously like Ralph killed me, obviously vote him off.
Right.
So what I did with my friends was we did a Zoom chat, and then during the game, everyone's on mute. And then if you get killed, you just don't come off. You don't come off of mute. So just kind of gentleman's agreement for the integrity of the game. Really fun. Especially in quarantine where travel is, limited. If you're coming back from like a state and you need to especially self-quarantine for 2 weeks, it's still like a great way to have social interactions and like have fun.
Yeah, it's a fun. Definitely a fun hangout game. I thought my friends and I were just gonna play it for maybe an hour. We ended up playing it for 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's one of those games. We're like, one more.
Yeah,
we're gonna do one more game.
Yeah,
so
it's a good time. I like being the imposter.
Well, no, of course you like being the imposter. That's the best part about the game.
I mean, some people are like, I don't like trying to have to lie. Like, I just want to do this and like, be a good guy.
Imposter is where it's at.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I think people that want to be crewmate is in the minority, because when we're playing with people and our friends, we wanted to have a full lobby, which is a lobby of 10, so there were 6 of us, so we had 4 randos on our lobby, and so whenever someone didn't get imposter, they would just leave, and it was super annoying.
That is annoying. Yeah, so did you communicate through text then?
No, so all 6 of us that were playing together, like our friends, we were on Discord. Fun fact, Among Us is the reason there's an increase in downloads for Discord on mobile.
Oh.
That was in the news.
I believe that, yeah.
So we would chat. Same thing with you. Gentleman's agreement, turn off your mic.
Right.
While you're doing tasks. Yeah. So it was super funny though. One thing great about it is just, I would highly suggest this to anyone that has like a nice group of friends they want to play with, because when we were playing, Sam really wanted to be the imposter.
Okay.
She's like, I want to murder someone. Just let me be the imposter. And we played, I don't even know, like maybe 12 games. Okay. And she couldn't get imposter. And there were people that got imposter back to back, like 4 times in a row. She's like,
I felt that way too. I only got it once for like 10 games.
So like she finally got imposter. So Sam and I, obviously it's virtual, right? But Sam and I are in the same house. She's on the other couch. I'm on my computer. And literally, like, someone dies. And then I'm just like, are you the imposter? And I just point at her, and she just like started giggling and laughing, and she blamed me for making her break.
Yeah,
because she couldn't hold it because she was so excited.
So then she got voted off. She got mad at you.
She was so excited to be the imposter. And
that's funny.
She was like, I couldn't even vent. You didn't even let me go venting. So in Among Us, if you're the imposter, there's these tiny little grates that you can vent into. So the imposter can go into the thing, and then you can fast travel to different locations. And she just wanted to like vent and murder more people. So it's really interesting, because when I started looking into how that game is played more, because a lot of streamers are playing it, right?
Oh yeah,
like it's huge now. There's a meta like starting in that game. Like there's this meta called Never Vote on 7. Have you heard of this?
No, I have not.
So if you're playing with a group of 10 people, and there's 2 imposters usually in a lobby of 10. Right. If 2 of the imposters have not been unmasked, you never vote on 7. Right. Yeah. The gist is you never vote on 7, because if you eject someone and the imposters don't get voted off on that 7th vote, it's essentially an automatic win for the imposters, because that would leave 6 people. Right. So there's 6 people. Mm-hmm. If the imposters stick together and kill a set of 2 people at the same time, because you can do that as imposters, that means it's an automatic win. So you just follow 2 people into a different room and just murder them immediately.
Right.
And then there's only 2 people left, so they'll never be able to win. So the rule is never vote on 7.
Interesting.
So yeah, a meta is like starting to formulate around the game. So there's a lot more cool. There's a lot of complicated mechanics that I didn't even know.
Oh yeah, I mean even like Mafia and Werewolf, like just. It's crazy, like the depth and the layers that the imposters can go through. It's a fun time.
I also love the memes. There's so many memes of this game.
Red sauce.
Yeah, it's so sus right now.
It's great. It's like, everything points to Ralph. So Ralph, where were you? And then you say, red kind of sauce, and then like the memes, like then everyone just explodes. Red. Yeah.
Well, it's also my favorite thing is that there's this meme where tell me all of your tasks right now, and it's like pointing a gun to the person. Right. I'm like, how am I supposed to remember all of my tasks?
Seriously though,
it's so good.
Yeah, it's cool. And one thing I do really like about that game is you can change some of the like the parameters or options. So one thing that's great is when you do eject someone, there is an option where you can say like Ralph was an imposter,
right?
Or it can just say Ralph was ejected. So that way
You can't tell.
You don't know if it was the correct person or not, which is really great. Like you can adjust like the movement speed, the run speed, the cooldown on how fast you can kill people. So it's fun that you can modify it. Super customizable and friendly to the players.
I can't wait to play it again, because when I was playing with friends, obviously all of us were new, and then when we jumped into a lobby of 10 new people, like 4 other people, obviously some of them may have played a lot longer than us. Yeah. So I go do a task on Among Us, and I walk over and there's another person that's like orange or whatever, and he's just like standing there, and then I'm already like,
sauce, dude, sauce.
Right. So in my head, I'm like, this guy's trying to kill me, like, obviously. And so like a dead body's found. I'm like, it has to be orange. It has to be orange. And obviously I'm in the group of 6 people.
Right.
If I'm telling people, hey, it has to be orange,
so they're all
orange
they're gonna vote. Yeah.
And then orange is like, I swear it wasn't me. It's this person. I saw them vent. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure you're the one that tried to vent. And no, I saw this person vent. If it's not them, you can eject me. But everyone voted orange anyway. And it was like, orange was not the imposter.
Oh, no.
And then I was like, oh no, it's my fault.
So then they ejected you next?
No, because... We lost that round though, but no, the game is really good. Yeah, highly recommended.
Sure, yeah, I would too. We should play next time you got some people around. Just shoot me a text.
I'm so down. Yeah,
I'd be down too. And the next game we've been playing is another hot take of the week, Genshin Impact. Did it release this past week?
I believe so. It's relatively new.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot of traction on the internet. I've been hearing things about this game since like spring.
Well, because it got a lot of negative press in spring, because I don't know what's up with Nintendo fans, and I love Nintendo, but sometimes Nintendo fans are so rabid.
Right.
Because when they saw this, I'm like, oh, you're copying Breath of the Wild. How dare you?
100%.
How dare you copy Breath of the Wild? So like this thing
that
had
is
a
like
lot
what it's
of
known for.
negative
Breath of the Wild
press on this game because it looked like the Breath of the Wild. And granted, they have some merit on there, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game. You know what I mean? A lot of mechanics are copied over from different games all the time. If that wasn't the case, we wouldn't have 3D shooters or fighting games. Or like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Obviously, it took some inspirations from Breath of the Wild.
A lot of inspiration.
But I don't think...
A lot of inspiration.
Like, I don't think it's a bad thing, especially if they do it well and even iterate on those. So, I mean, I didn't really play Breath of the Wild that much. You did, so maybe you can chime in on this more. But, like, do you think the improvements it made from Breath of the Wild are worth it? Is it good?
Let me think. It's just... The game... Yes, it has very similar qualities to Breath of the Wild, but it is very different in a lot of respects.
Okay.
Let's just talk about what it is, right? So it's a free-to-play game. So a lot of people were actually very surprised because the game is super polished and it looks beautiful. It looks like a AAA game, and it's a free-to-play game. It's a gacha game. And if people don't know what that means, is that you pay money to be able to summon or get new heroes or new champions for the game. And essentially that's how they make the money off the game, is you want a certain character and you pay loads and loads of money to get these characters. But what's good about this game, specifically free to play, I think it's a free to play whale game. And if you don't know what that means, like industry wise, I think about it like Riot games, the way they make League of Legends. The game itself for League of Legends is totally fine, super fun by itself for any free player, but they're looking for, instead of that free player buying stuff, because the likelihood of those free players buying stuff is you're probably not going to convert those into money. You're looking for people that are going to spend a lot of money on the game.
Okay.
Which are your white whales, right?
Right. Okay.
So essentially, a select few people are going to spend a lot of money on this game so the free players can play. I think that's the business model they're looking for, because I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think the game, I've only played maybe 2 or 3 hours of it. I think the game is just fun by itself. It's not one of those things where they tether you with all of these free to play garbage where, oh, you like don't have enough energy to play the game.
You need to wait like 24 hours.
Yeah, like, oh, like this is like locked out until you do stuff. So I think the game is really good on that front. So it's essentially this action RPG game that has Breath of the Wild mechanics and it's free to play. Regarding your previous question about the game of whether or not the Breath of the Wild stuff, the things that they added on there is good enough, I think the game is very different from Breath of the Wild from what I've played.
Yeah.
I think the Breath of the Wild has a bigger concept of like puzzle solving and kind of like exploration and stuff like that, which Genshin Impact does have. But I think the combat on Genshin Impact is what makes it interesting.
Okay, I'd agree with that. And then
it does have some really interesting discovery stuff. And, Breath of the Wild doesn't have like a monopoly or like protections for people stealing it from making a game that's interesting to discover. So I don't know why that's an issue with some players out there. Like, it's cool. It's very interesting. The combat is great. One mechanic that I love about the game, specifically in the combat side, is that each character has their element. And what that means is if you have a person that has a fire element burn an enemy, then you can switch to a wind element character, and then it'll cause the fire to spread and maybe create fire tornadoes around it. And it's super cool, and I think that's really fascinating. What are your thoughts on the game?
Okay, so I'm kind of, in terms of playtime, in the same neck of the woods as you, like 1.5 hours. The stuff with the elements definitely sticks out to me. It seems like you're incentivized to switch these characters because, as far as we know, like you said, only one character has access to one element. So then, so if you set someone ablaze, then you switch to your main protag who can do the wind, and then you get bonus damage on that. Kind of reminds me of like the Kirby games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you like inhale one element or one enemy, and then you inhale another one, then it does like a different form. So you're definitely incentivized to kind of experiment with different elemental combinations to maximize your damage output. I was kind of apprehensive to play this game because I know it's supposed to be like this open world, and I begged Alex to play. Grind, you get equipment, you do these dungeons, multiplayer stuff. But there is like a whole single player experience, which I'm probably going to do. I probably will not dive into the multiplayer stuff. When you're explaining like the gacha concept of the white whales, I feel like that's probably where a lot of the money is going to come from, right? Is the multiplayer stuff, because this game is we haven't checked out the multiplayer stuff yet, true, right? So we don't know. Obviously we haven't hit endgame yet because we say that right now it's not grindy, but once endgame hits, we're like, oh no, this is real grindy. Yeah, I wonder how long that single player campaign is. I would imagine we could look it up pretty easily on the internet. But it's available on like most platforms, right? Like it's on PC, mobile, even. Is it on Xbox? I don't think so. I don't know. We might need to double check that. But I think it's by like a Chinese developer, right? Right. Like MiHoYo. Yeah, and then it's coming out on Switch at a later date. Yeah. It's on mobile though, and that's what I said. Yeah, it's on crazy. Mobile, which again, because it's a Chinese developer, does not surprise me because mobile games are huge in China because they don't have like consoles. Yeah. They probably get a bunch of microtransactions on there. Right. Well, do you like the game? I do. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. It's a pretty game. It's beautiful, right? Yeah, for that's why it was super surprising that it's free to play. Also on mobile, I'm like, wow, this looks really nice. Obviously, the environment, it does remind me of Breath of the Wild from like stuff I've seen. I think it's like, it doesn't seem like a cheap knockoff at all, though, in terms of just like looks. It's cool when you do like perform like the elemental combinations. It's satisfying. It's satisfying. Yeah. It looks cool. Yeah, really. Yeah, it seems like a really, really polished game, more than I was anticipating. Yeah. So watch out for that when we keep on playing it some more. Are you going to keep on playing it? Because I'll definitely play it some more and let people know if there's something good at the end of the rainbow for that game. I'm down to finish the single player campaign. Yeah, I want to do multiplayer with you. I don't know why you don't want to play multiplayer with me. I'll dabble. I won't put in all these hours to grind and I think it's a good stopover until the new console, right? I think we play this for a month, hang out for a little bit. I play Spiderman, you play Dark Souls whenever you get your PS5. Yeah, I was gonna say if I get a PS5, you'll get one. Still on that grind, which is a very good transition into some news. We can talk about PS5 version of Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great start off. So what's that about?
All right, so as we kind of touched upon and as the leaders have been talking about, the PS4 game Marvel Spider-Man is being ported to PS5 with some updated visuals. There's been kind of some ambiguity on if you already have it downloaded. Will it transfer with those touch-ups? And
it will
the
not.
answer is no.
Yeah, it will not.
Which is disappointing. But it is what it is. I guess you can get the Ultimate Pack with Miles Morales, and you'll get
but then it would be...
Right,
this was this is a completely separate debacle last week. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, but essentially, Miles Morales is $40 for the PS5, because it's cross-gen. That's like the modifier that
it's
Sony
cross-gen
has
and
put.
it's a shorter game.
Right. Yeah, but if you want the new remastered version of Spider-Man, the old version, with the ray tracing, the higher frame rate, like native 4K, you would need, the only way for you to be able to play that is if you bought the ultimate version of Miles Morales, which would bring that up to $70. So you can't even buy it separately. So even if you had do you think they'd be able to buy it separately?
Maybe for downloading the PSN in a few months,
yeah. But as of now, you can't buy it separately. Right. Even if you had the old PS4 version of Spider-Man, you won't be able to upgrade it. You won't be able to download it. The only way you can do it is if you bought the Ultimate Edition for $70, which I think is a little schemy. I get it, but it's a little schemy here. Like, you know why they have it that way, because obviously they think they can't charge. They can't charge for Miles Morales for $60, so they wanted the full $70. Like, it's a little schemy.
Yeah, and it should be like, they definitely could make it a day one patch.
Right.
I strongly believe. At the very least, they should let you pay like $10 to upgrade. I don't
know if $10. I think it's a $5 upgrade.
Right.
The max
but
I would pay
I'm just saying, like,
$5.
at the very least, they should let you pay to upgrade.
Right. Because it's like, the reason I say it's schemy, right? I'm going to say schemy multiple times today. The reason I say it's schemy is that I get it, but other games like the Marvel game that we played, Avengers, like on the first, that's a free upgrade to PS5. I looked that up today. There's a bunch of games that you can buy now on PS4 that is going to be a free upgrade to PS5. So, like, it's a little annoying that Sony thinks that this is a good business practice especially when it's a reset to the generation, because you need to really put your best foot forward. And right now it looks really bad on PlayStation when you have Xbox, who's like, oh yeah, all those like new games that we're going to publish, totally going to be on Xbox Game Pass.
Not very consumer friendly.
Right. Yeah. So like, oh yeah, like all of those like games on Xbox, the original Xbox, we're going to try our hardest to port those over to the new systems. Like, so it's just annoying because Sony should know better, because the tone that they set at the beginning of the generation will follow them for the rest of the time the generation is around.
I would probably disagree with that point.
You don't think so?
The internet forgets things very quickly.
Okay.
So, like, on the next thing, if they make a very consumer-friendly move, be like, yeah, Insomniac's great, whatever.
Right. I just think it's like, my point is, think about the launch of the Xbox and the launch of the PS4.
No, I will never disagree with you that this is what'd you call it?
Anti-consumer.
No.
Schemy?
Schemy, yeah. I will not disagree that it's schemy. I think it is. Like I said, it should be a day one patch that everyone can download. I don't know. Like, I think, like, and people generally love Insomniac.
Right.
I'm in that camp for sure. Like, this is kind of an outlying situation where I'm disappointed with them. So, and I wonder how much of it is Insomniac and Sony.
I don't know.
I would imagine mostly Sony, but again, we would love to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, for sure. Well, sorry for derailing this. The actual news is different, so.
Yeah, related though, right? So, with the PS5 version of Spider-Man, with that upgrade, right, there's going to be some updated character models, and they're not
one updated character model
that we know of.
Yeah, that's true, but I think that's the big one, though, right?
Yeah, it is the big one. So, Peter Parker's face, and while you're thinking like, oh, it's just Peter Parker's face, he mostly has a mask on the whole time. In this game, you do play as Peter Parker for a lot of it.
Right.
Obviously, like, actual mask, costume, Spider-Man most.
And a lot of the cutscenes are with his face.
Yeah, so you definitely will see like actual Peter Parker for a lot of this game. They redid his face.
I hate it.
And it's not just like higher definition face. They completely redid it. So there is a comparison video of the PS4 version, the old version versus the new model.
Let's put a graphic up on the Instagram.
Sure.
So we'll put it up
we can
maybe on Tuesday.
At the time of this viewing or this week, we'll throw something on Instagram, so please check that out. But I highly recommend checking out the IGN video. That's where I saw it first, at least. And there's this night and day difference between the models. And Insomniac's creative director, Brian Intihar, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, has received many hateful emails. Some of those include death threats, right? So, Ralph, I got to ask you, given all the hate, do you think Insomniac should concede to these consumers with their very strong views and return to the old design, or should they just push forward?
First things first. Never send death threats to those devs. It's not their fault. Like, don't do that. That's no good. Like, I know that you're very into the game and it's a really good game, but like without them, you wouldn't have that good game in the first place.
Right.
So if you push them away from the industry, then you won't have good games. So please stop doing that.
And there's human beings on the other side of that computer screen, which is it's just super unnecessary, very childish. Always treat others with respect.
Yeah. On your question on the note of whether or not they should concede and return to the old designs, I think it's too late. Because I'm sure...
Dude, it can just get delayed.
No, you can't delay the launch game. I think it's too late on two reasons. One, things like this, they take a lot of time. And from what I've heard or from what I've seen, the remaster remaster, right? Yeah. Yes. Remaster of the PlayStation 4 version of Spider-Man. I believe they've been working on that for like maybe a year and a half. So, even if it's just, like changing the face to, back to the original face, they put a lot of time and a lot of effort. There's a lot of different facial capture they needed to do for that. And I don't think they're going to change it back. There's a reason that they did it. I don't know if you're going to bring up their reasoning to why they changed the face. I don't know. Do you know? I
read a little into it. Like Yuri Lowenthal.
Right. So
he's the voice actor.
The idea was the reason they changed the face in their words, and I'm going to paraphrase it, is that they wanted a new facial capture for the actor that played Spider-Man, and they thought this new face fits better, which I disagree with heavily. But because it's so late in the game, I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah. What's interesting about Peter Parker in this game is he's supposed to be 23, I read. And the old face does not look 23. I think he looks probably in like his early 30s. He's got some mad wrinkles on his forehead. But this version also does not look 23. He looks younger. He looks like he's 18 or like 15. I don't know. So there's no winning. Did you not like the old face? Let me ask you that.
I
liked it more than the new one.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I overall liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I think someone's face is a little subjective to some of the
totally
people,
subjective.
Right? Because like you can have a young looking 23-year-old and you can have an old looking 23-year-old and they could still be 23. It's just how their face looks.
Right.
But I do agree, this new face is so jarring to me. And I don't think I would have necessarily minded if they changed the face in general, if there was really a need for it. But the face they chose for the new one is so jarring because they look so young.
Yeah. I agree.
And I know there's a lot of theories out there like, oh, they needed someone that looked like Tom Holland. They wanted a Tom Holland looking face. But one of the reasons that I say it's so jarring is because a little bit spoilers, but not really, because obviously we're getting Miles Morales this holiday season. But Peter Parker, or the current Spider-Man, the normal one, is technically like Miles Morales' mentor,
right,
of being Spider-Man. And so it's gonna be super weird in my head where this young looking Spider-Man is mentoring this high school kid that literally looks like the same age.
Yeah.
So it really bugs me on that front. I don't think the voice fits with the face.
And it's whole another thing.
Yeah, because it's like a weird thing because like you have an old sounding voice coming out of this high school kid's face, and maybe like the person that did the facial capture was actually like around 23, 25, but because Miles looks relatively the same age as him, it like bugs me.
Weird.
It bugs me a lot.
Yeah,
but I don't think they shouldn't buckle behind death threats and whatever, but also I think it's too late for them.
Yeah, I think generally the idea of conceding to those people, like letting them have their way, give them the win, just based on principle is not okay.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Right, yeah, exactly, 100%. But however, that has worked in the past, and what made me think of this question was the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Okay.
Where they showed the initial design, and everyone like vomited all over themselves. Right. I imagine Paramount, I don't know who made that
maybe
movie.
I don't know.
Yeah, they probably got death threats.
Right.
I would be surprised.
Well, no, they definitely got death threats. It's terrible.
Right, which is terrible to just say. Like, 100% you got death threats.
Yeah.
Like they, regardless of what kind of message they got, they changed it, delayed it, and everyone's like, okay, this looks way better. And so like they bent the knee, so to say.
Right.
And it was favorable. So that's why I'm like kind of back and forth. Now, one option I feel like they could do is, and what they did with like the Halo Master Chief Collection is, by a click of a button, you switch the model.
Maybe. I don't know. There has to be a reason. Like, I don't know. We don't know, right? Like,
yeah, we don't know.
There has to be a reason that they did this. Because, like, if we're going to be honest, yes, it's jarring. It's not bad.
No, it's
not bad.
I think it's only bad because we had the original one to compare it
It's not bad, but there has to be a reason. And I don't buy the idea that, it fits the facial capture more. Because honestly, Spider-Man was a fantastic game. Very believable characters. The original facial capture was very endearing. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, he looked a little bit older, but it's super believable.
Yeah, so you can get past it, and people get past this too. It's just the internet being the internet for the most part.
But it is a big deal. When I saw it definitely made me like it was whiplash. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, you had to double take. Yeah. I mean, they may have changed MJ's face. I don't know if they showed that.
No,
I know they showed
not.
Doc Ock, but yeah.
Man, I swear it's gonna be a weird thing because if they change MJ's face too, because you can't have this like high school looking kid kiss this old lady. She's not old, but she's like a 30-year-old.
I guess they need to change her then. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
That'll be interesting.
I'm curious to see. We're gonna find out very soon.
True. Yeah. Next gen is in like a month. Crazy thing about. So excited. Crazy thing about it. I really hope I can get a PS5.
You will, dude. I believe in the heart of cards.
Oh, man. Yeah. Anyways, another piece of news, maybe a little more lighthearted than that, is the next Super Smash Bros. Character. The second fighter released in Fighters Pass Volume 2 is, drumroll, Microsoft Steve. Yeah, Minecraft Steve from Minecraft, of course. He's going to be released on 10/13, coming up pretty soon. So, again, 4 fighters left on the season pass. Sakurai has claimed earlier this year that development for Smash Bros. Ultimate will end. The original timeline was like by the end of 2021 due to global circumstances. Right. Everything's been pushed back by, X amount of months. So, super divisive fan reactions. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate player Tweak, who's kind of known to be like the second best player globally. He's got a mean Wario. Him and his girlfriend.
He's a Pokemon trainer player. How dare you?
I think his best is Wario. He subs secondary as Pokemon trainer. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Him and his girlfriend had a reaction video where they were watching it, and it's so hilarious, and it sums up the community's reaction perfectly. Where Tweak just like has his hands in his face. He's like, "No, not like this. Why Minecraft, Steve?" And his girlfriend is like jaw agape, mouth agape, just like cheering, and just like can't stop like screaming, like yes, oh my god, so excited for Minecraft, Steve. And like that seriously sums up this. So, like, there's not really a middle. To a large extent.
I think the announcement shows people's age because literally older Smash Bros. Fans are like, this is a terrible move.
Right.
And then younger Smash Bros. Fans are like, yes, Minecraft Steve is in the game.
Exactly. And I was talking last week how we played against some DePaul
people,
and then we're like, great. this dude is going to play Minecraft Steve and just stomp all of our faces with him, and it's going to feel terrible. So I personally, like you said, age thing, I'm not happy about Minecraft Steve. Okay. I get it. Like Sakura said, it's like the largest selling game in the world or something. I can see that, yeah. Which I was like, wow, I didn't know that, but I guess, yeah. Like, it
makes sense. It's one of those things...
Everyone, their mom at least knows about Minecraft.
Right, it's one of those things where, yes, we're like older players, and so we're like playing your God of Wars, you're playing Call of Duty, you're playing League of Legends, and then there's place where we don't live
dumb
in.
Kids.
It's not dumb kids, but there's this place that we don't live in. Like, literally, I just found out about, like, I've heard of the term Roblox. Do you know Roblox?
Yeah, I have a friend who works for Roblox.
Oh, really? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Roblox is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Like, massive.
I didn't know it was that
and
big,
people don't know, like, our age, people don't know what it is. It's more so for younger players. They make millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's bananas.
So much money as like a game. Right. So, you know, we say, oh, like, I don't get the Minecraft thing, but a lot of people play Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
And we just
one of my roommates, who's only a year younger than me, he was huge into Minecraft.
Well, so was I.
You were?
Yeah, I played.
You were one of them?
Yes, I played Minecraft in high school. We had our own. Okay. So this was when
So you were probably happy for Minecraft, Steve.
I have my thoughts. We'll get there. Yeah, but I played Minecraft with a couple of my friends, like actually good friends, in high school. It was back in the day where it wasn't even, I want to say it was alpha or maybe beta.
Okay.
And we had to like host it on our own server. So like my friend who was like super tech savvy, hosted our own server so we could all play together. So it's fun. I think it's really cool. It's a completely different game now than what it was back then.
I know it's like different game modes.
Yeah. So I think you'd be surprised about how many people are probably excited about this.
I don't think I would be. I know a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Too many.
We're just older. My main takeaway from Minecraft Steve is just for our listeners and you yourself, I'm such a big aesthetics person.
Oh man, yeah. I'm
curious to know. Yeah, so I'm a huge aesthetics person. Minecraft definitely has its own look and feel. What bugs me about Minecraft Steve or Alex or whatever, Enderman or things like that, all the other things, is
they're talking about me, Alex.
What bugs me about this DLC announcement or Steve being added is they didn't follow the Super Smash Brothers brand guidelines. And it bugs me so much.
What do you mean by that?
So if you notice with Super Smash Bros., they have a specific look and feel for all of the characters. They all come from different franchises. Right. But there is not a Minecraft. There's a Super Smash Brothers style to character models. Like,
I agree.
Incineroar being next to Solid Snake, even though they're in vastly different games, they fit. Yeah. Right, Ike fits all of those people. Right, yeah. They change the models enough and the lighting enough that it looks like they're part of the same universe. And my biggest gripe about Minecraft Steve is that I don't know if Microsoft or Microsoft Mojang were like, hey, it needs to stick to this Minecraft look. It has to be this Minecraft look. You can't change this, and that's what happened. But literally, in my head, I can imagine what a Minecraft Steve version of Super Smash Brothers could look like. Better lighting, not pixelated.
Right. I'm sure,
but still looks like Minecraft Steve.
Yeah, and like PM,
right?
The fan-made Smash Bros. Game, they'll probably adjust it.
Right. So like it looks like it's part of the game. The fact that Mr. Game & Watch, who is like a 2-bit character, looks like it's part of the game, and Minecraft Steve doesn't look like it's part of the game, really bugs me. It looks like there's Minecraft in Smash Brothers, not that Minecraft Steve is in Smash Brothers. So it really grinds my gears that way.
Yeah. But you have to imagine that's deliberate.
Right. It has to be, right? Yeah. Because I'm sure if Sakurai had his way, he'd be like, hey, like it needs to fit within the Super Smash Brothers brand guidelines.
Yeah. And it seems he kind of dropped some subtleties of how much or how little creative direction he's allowed for these characters.
Right.
Because I was like, okay, Nintendo comes to me and says, this character's coming
Sakurai-san, let's put Minecraft Steve.
Kind of feel bad for Sakurai. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's probably enjoying it still. It's still like his passion project.
I think the character is interesting. Did you get a chance to see its moveset?
So yeah, I want to say it was yesterday, right? Yesterday there was like a 45 to an hour long showcase of this character, because there's a lot that goes into Steve, Alex, Enderman, whatever, zombie,
whatever those things are.
Yeah, so showcasing the moves. I skipped around, but like I saw the majority to figure out like what the heck's going on when I fight them.
Minecraft Steve looks broken.
I don't know. Ultimate's a fast-paced game, and for them to take time to like mine the materials, to use all the stuff.
You say that now, but Olimar also like mines the materials, and like before he got nerfed, like broken character. So
yeah, it is interesting. It seems like all the DLC characters have like gimmicks, so to say, maybe except for Banjo to some extent, but. Yeah, Minecraft Steve is definitely the most gimmicky. Like, I thought Hero was super gimmicky with the down B, but everything about Minecraft Steve is just huge gimmick. So it's interesting. I like that, I think. Although it does make some of the other characters seem outdated. But maybe that's kind of cool. You get more simple characters, and then if you want to really dive deep into one character or learn their nuances, you can. So I'm not gonna really play Minecraft Steve. But I respect the inclusion. I think it's something, like you said, a lot of people are going to love. Yeah.
I think, and obviously I'm not good at the game. We all know
you're above average.
Yeah, well, I think I'm not good at the game. I think Minecraft Steve is going to be a high tier character. Just because, one, I think there's some technical nuance to him or her. Alex, right? And the other thing too is that what makes Minecraft Steve difficult to fight against in Smash would be you would need to really pay attention to their resources as well. As a player, if you're playing against a Minecraft Steve, you also need to understand what they can do and what their mechanics are more so than other characters.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. A lot of utility with that character. I think... Again, it's a fast-paced game. I think their frame data is going to not be very good. So how fast the moves come out, how much end lag.
Right, but the issue is if they get higher level gear. I don't know if you
there's give and take. Yeah, like
if they get like a diamond, it's supposed to be super fast.
Oh, right, that impacts the frame data. Yeah, so... Yeah, that all depends. Like, if they are winning, if they're advantageous throughout like the set... they'll be able to mine more and then become stronger. So if they have an advantage, they can carry that over to widen the gap even further. If not, I feel like it'd be hard for them.
Yeah. It's definitely a trolley character.
Oh, super trolly. 100%.
Yeah.
So it's, definitely an interesting character. Who do you want? So there's 4 more fighters left. Who do you want?
I'm so surprised. And every time we bring this up, I'm just so surprised that Rally Boom from the Pokemon game hasn't been added yet.
That was Rillaboom.
Is it Rillaboom? Wow, fake Pokemon fan over here.
I went grass.
It's probably Rillaboom, yeah.
Did you go grass too?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Dude, Grookey Gang.
Yeah.
Dude.
I love those grass Pokemon. They're good in this game.
The reason I'm saying my logic behind it is that there's already a lot of Pokemon representation in the game. But one, Pokemon is a very popular franchise. It makes so much money. But 2, there isn't a grass starter in the roster yet. So we have Pikachu, Pichu, and Jigglypuff, which are the normal from the old games. But we have Greninja, which is a water starter, right? And then we have a fire starter with Incineroar. And then we have Pokemon Trainer, which is all 3 of them, right? But we're missing a grass starter. And I think that they'll end it with the last grass starter. So I'm just very surprised that a grass starter isn't added yet to the roster.
Yeah. I think like Sceptile would be cool too. I think is that Ruby and Sapphire? Trico, I think.
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to figure things out. But yeah, like I think that's one. But honestly, it's one of those things where I don't say that I don't care. It's just I think I'm just happy with everyone that's been added already, that whatever is added is just icing to the cake. I don't know who they could add.
There's like 70 something characters. Like it's just cool that we get more.
Right. Yeah. I don't know who they could add where I would just pop off.
Yeah, because you already got Joker.
Right, Joker is already there.
You literally screamed. You told me.
Oh, I did. Sam thought I killed someone. I flipped.
That was also the Game Awards last year. Wow.
Well, because I thought that would be like an impossible thing. Like
same.
It was honestly whatever. Like, and also people out there that are like, I want Goku in the game. Shut up. No.
They're not going to.
No, don't add Goku in the game. It doesn't make sense.
No, they literally said it needs to be a video game character. Like a dominant video game.
And then there are like arguments like, well, there's a lot of Dragon Ball games out there.
No, I think Sora is a possibility from Kingdom Hearts.
Another sword. Everyone's like,
it's a Keyblade, Ralph.
No, it's so funny because literally these Smash players, these like hardcore Smash fans, like, I'm so sick of these Fire Emblem sword characters, so many sword characters in the game. And then like on the other side, like, hey, I want Sora.
Yeah, right.
Add Sora.
Although Minecraft Steve has a sword, so
Minecraft Steve doesn't play like anyone, so
he's his own thing. Yeah. That's true. I want Paper Mario.
Paper Mario would be a good one. I think
him and Game & Watch
Toad would be a fascinating one to do.
Yeah.
I don't know who would. Waluigi. Everyone's been asking for Waluigi forever.
I feel like he has to, but he's also an assist trophy, so I wonder how that would work.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who I'd want to add. I think Rillaboom is a great choice. Any other grass starter would be good. I think Rillaboom would be good because we need more heavies in the game. There's a lot of fast characters already in the game, so
true.
Having another heavy would be cool.
I think I'd want another Sonic rep. Tails or Knuckles. Mm-hmm. I would love that. Although I think Knuckles is an assist trophy, is he? I don't really play with items. Neither of us play with items, so I don't know. So give me Tails. I don't know.
Tails.
Or maybe. Amy with the hammer. That'd be fun. That'd be cool. Big the cat. There's your heavy.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
Yeah, so Minecraft Steve comes out on the 13th. We'll check him out. We'll probably talk about it in the next episode too. So next up in the news is back to negative, sad stuff, right? CD Projekt Red, the developers for the Witcher series and upcoming Cyberpunk 2077, they're issuing a mandatory 6-day work week for Cyberpunk until its release on November 19th. Interestingly enough, in an interview last year, CD Projekt Red executives stated they would be avoiding a mandatory crunch. And obviously it's different from what they've just announced. Studio head Adam Badowski has stated they will make overtime pay, right? And per usual, 10% of the annual profit will be split among the team. So, Ralph, you're in the industry and obviously you're a very, very avid and passionate gamer. Does this impact your purchase decision, them doing the mandatory crunch and overtime for a 6-day work week?
I think it's a complicated situation because as a gamer, I know that the game is going to be very good. But it's complicated because this feels a little predatory. The fact that they're adding, they're paying for the overtime and that they're giving 10% of the annual profit split among the team, that's really positive, in my opinion, because at least they're paying the workers. But my main concern with these type of practices is that if people aren't aware, a lot of these things cause a lot of the talent in the games industry to leave. So instead of working for a crunchy dev studio, they end up going to other sides of tech where they get to go see their families and like hang out with them and have a life, right? Yeah. So it makes me feel bad for all those devs that are working so hard on the game because they care so much, right? And they can get away with it. That's the problem. That's the problem with the industry. The reason you get away with it is because when you choose to go into the games industry, that is a choice made by that person because they love that industry so much. So when they go into the games industry, they're like, I want to make games. I want to make really cool games. And so they just want to make games. And so these companies, they can get away with it because they have those type of people that they don't want to make a bad game, right? They chose to be in the industry.
It's their baby. It's their
right. So
project.
They end up putting extra hours here and there. And I would not be surprised if they're already crunching, like in addition to what this is already prior to this mandatory 6-day work week. But it makes it complicated because one, I want to play this game because
it's been delayed a few times already.
Right. I want to play this game because there's a lot of work that's already been put into it by these people. Because I'm assuming, yes, it sucks, but like they also want you to play the game.
Oh yeah,
right?
100%.
Right,
yeah.
Because like they put all their heart and soul into this game. They want to make a good game.
Yeah, and they always deliver.
Right.
Yeah.
But the complicated part is, being on the talent acquisition side of the games industry is things like this really hurt our industry overall because it causes people to leave. And so I don't want people, there's nothing wrong with this, but I don't want people going to work for Facebook or working for Google or working for these other tech companies that don't crunch as much as the games industry, because their talents, their coding, C++, whatever, Python, things like that is relevant to those industries as well. But because people are leaving, that causes people to have bad games. And so there's so much churn in the employment sector that it is a really huge threat. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
So you didn't answer the question though. Does
I know,
it impact your purchasing decision?
A little bit. It makes me feel like it makes me feel scummy. Like I said, scummy. Yeah. It makes me feel scummy, like buying it. Yeah. But I want to play it. So it's one of those weird things like, why you do this to me?
It's on sale. Like, it's been on sale on Amazon for $50. I don't know if that impacts your purchase.
Really?
Yeah. Physical edition. But you're getting the physical PS5, so.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure. I don't want to, because this is such a serious tone.
Look at this. You look so conflicted.
Right. Because, like, I don't want people to leave the games industry. So many people have already left the games industry, Alex. You'd be surprised. No,
I would not be. It's like, you hear so many only negative things about crunch. So I will say, in the few like news outlets I have been researching this, on the CD Projekt Red side, they always say, like, they always ensure, like, we are paying them well.
Right.
Like, don't worry, like, they're not just doing this at the same rate. Like, we are always giving them more money, which that's like, I think that's the number one thing that comes to people's mind is, okay, so like, what are they getting out of this crunch, this mandatory extended work week too? Because I do overtime every day, but I am getting paid for it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, I don't mind it then.
But there's a difference though. So yes, like I know a lot of people are saying out there that, oh yeah, like I do overtime, like I work off hours from time to time. But the difference is you're not working for extended periods of overtime. If you're doing, like, let's say you're working 8 hours a day. Let's say a milestone is coming up and you're working maybe 15 hours a day, every single day. And then you work a little bit on the weekends and stuff like that. It adds up. And let's say you do that for 3 months straight. Like, are you going to tell me that you're not going to get burned out? Like,
no, you totally are. It is only a month at least.
Yeah,
right?
But my point is, yes, it's mandatory overtime right now for a month. But you don't know how long they've been crunching for the last year, for the last 2 years. And it's a bummer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the internet, their reaction, because people generally love CD Projekt Red.
Right.
Like The Witcher 3, fantastic game. Everyone's looking forward to Cyberpunk. They're like, oh, it happens in the industry. Like, these guys can't escape it. Which is interesting because, like, if EA pulled this, if they made that announcement, the internet would be up in flames,
right,
with pitchforks ready to come at them. But with CD Projekt Red, they're like, you know, it is what it is. It's
the difference is because the consumers are excited about the product.
Yeah.
So as long as it doesn't affect them on how the product performs, then they don't care.
I just thought it was funny because it was hypocritical.
Right. Because what I would say is that if, God forbid, this game is bad, because there's a lot of money that's probably gone into this game. The fact that Keanu Reeves got put in, and then they got the rights for Billie Eilish's Bad Guy for,
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Their most recent ad, which I'm sure was a multi-million-dollar deal. If this game was bad, like, I'm sure the internet will then start to notice, like, hey, like, there's something wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I don't think the news of the mandatory crunch will impact a lot of purchasing.
I don't think it'll affect sales because I'm sure the pre-orders are already in.
Right. It sucks to see.
Right.
I guess. But, hopefully, they're paying them well. Hopefully the other accommodations are there too. I think CD Projekt Red does care a lot about its devs and its employees, so I think they hate to do this, but they are being open with the public about it. So there's give and take to that. But yeah, I probably am not going to buy it.
Well, you weren't going to buy it in the first place.
Anyway, so.
I was always going to buy it. You said, oh, it's it's in first person.
Yeah, I wish it was in third person.
How dare they?
Yeah.
How dare they?
Maybe if they patch in third person, I will buy it.
Nah, I don't think it'll be.
I don't think so either.
But yeah, no, it is a very complicated situation because I want to play the game, but it is it's complicated, right?
Yeah. But they're getting paid well, so there's that, and they'll hopefully get a very long vacation after it releases. Anyways, that's coming out next month. If you're looking for stuff to play this month, we've got some deals for you. So on the Xbox side of things, free games with Xbox Live Gold. One of them is Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy.
Yeah, that is like my childhood.
Yeah, back from the OG Xbox.
I never beat it because I'm a dumb kid.
It's crazy when you go back to games. You're like, wow, I couldn't figure that out. It was super easy. It's kind of like if you're on Xbox and you love Legend of Zelda sort of games, but obviously Zelda's a Nintendo exclusive. I think Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy is like a good call, good inspiration from the 3D Zelda games. Kind of got that adventure aspect. Plus, you could jump. You can double jump actually. So
I remember you could turn into a scarab. Maybe I'm misremembering that.
Yeah, I played it like back in maybe like middle school, right?
Yeah.
I think I played on the GameCube. So good times. It's a good game. If you have Live, it'll be free. Xbox Live Gold, that is. And Game Pass, Doom Eternal has been added.
It was?
Doom Eternal, yeah.
On PC or Xbox?
I want to say both.
I need to double check that.
Okay, at least on Xbox One, it has been added, which is great because that got really positive reviews. And with the new acquisition of ZeniMax, so this makes sense. On the PS4 side of things, there's a PlayStation Generation sale. The two that I feel are notable are Ghost of Tsushima, which we talked about very extensively in our first episode, $44.99, which is totally worth it if you have not picked it up. Highly recommend that. And Overcooked for $6.79.
Alex's favorite game.
No, you would need to pay me to play Overcooked.
It's so funny. So listeners, literally, I got Alex to play Overcooked with me and my fiance because we love that game. And it was fine, like, for the first couple of levels, but eventually when things got complicated, Alex just froze. He just stopped, and he just stopped playing. I'm like, no, I don't want to play this.
Dude, it's literally just anxiety simulator for me. Like, people love that game. It gets good reviews. I understand it. It's cool. Especially, I think people who... it's a good game to introduce to gamers who don't typically play games. It's more casual on that end, but it can be fun if you're into that. Not for me, though. On the Nintendo Switch side of things, as we talked about earlier, Super Mario Bros. 35 is free with the Nintendo Switch Online membership, so feel free to download that. Steam, we've got Nier Automata, Game of the Yorha edition, basically just the Game of the Year edition, for $19.99, and Overcooked 2 for $14.99. Also on the Epic Game Store, there's this indie game for free. It's called Piku Niku. It is free to download.
I downloaded it. I have.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I haven't played it. I literally just download anything that Epic Game Store gives. Like man, I hope they give Hades out for free.
Oh,
like,
that'd be
awesome.
That'd be insane. But yeah, those are our deals, and yeah, definitely feel free to check those out if you liked them. Let us know. But that's all we've got for today. Thank you for sticking around for our 5th episode of Professionally Casual Gamers. We had a lot of fun hanging out with each other, and we hope you did too. If you have any discussion topics or questions, send it over on professionallycasualgamers@gmail.com or our Instagram and Twitter @professionallycasualgamers. As always, stay safe, register to vote,
and
keep it casual.